Okay, so for your soup base, you could use beef neck bones, and you're gonna have to slow cook it for about 2 hours to get that sweet taste for the broth. But I'm in my case today, I don't have the 2 hours to cook, so I'm just gonna use chicken broth, and this cuts my cooking time in half. So it tastes just as good, depending on how you marinate it. So, all right, I'm gonna pour this into the pot. I use two for the amount that I'm cooking. I'm using 2 chicken broth. And you want to mix in 1 part water with that. This right here is chicken blood. I bought it pre-cooked, but I still have to recook it anyways to make sure it's cleaned. So we're gonna boil this for you. Okay, so now I'm going to take these dry shrimps. This is how it comes in a bag like this. And I'm going to blend this. And then we're going to mix this in with our shrimp paste later. It gives it that sweetness. So the shrimp is really sweet. And it smells really good too. All right, in the blender it goes. What I already did is I already ground up some shrimps, depending on how much you want. So that's your preference. But I used about half a pound of shrimp. We're going to mix that in as well. Ooh, a lot of them didn't really ground up. But here's the dry shrimp. So this here is the crab paste. They have the shrimp paste as well, but why use shrimp paste when you can use crab? I feel like it's much more sweeter. Go ahead and mix this into our paste. So here's another one. I'm gonna put 2 of these for my paste. And I have a third one, but I'm going to save that one to dump directly into the soup later to give it that red color. So this is what it looks like so far. You got fresh shrimp, you got dry shrimp, and then you got your crab paste, or you can use shrimp paste. If you love eggs as much as I do, you're going to love this dish. I love seafood and eggs, so this is like a shrimp paste soup with eggs and my two favorite thing in the whole wide world, all in one pot. It's just like a gift that keeps on giving. All right. Now what I have here is just a little bit of ground beef. I don't want a whole lot of beef. I use a lot more shrimp. So the beef just makes it a little bit more, your paste later, a little bit more dense and a little bit more heavy, because shrimp alone with eggs, it doesn't really hold together too well. It breaks easily, okay? So you'll see what I mean. But to keep it more chunky and more together, I add a little bit of beef. So there we go. So now that we have the beef in with the eggs, with the shrimp paste, dry shrimp, and fresh shrimp, all you have to do is now add some sugar, salt, and black pepper, and just whip it up. Okay, so here's the salt. Not too much. And here is the sugar. One spoon, 2 spoons, about 4 spoons of sugar, and 2 spoons of salt for me. All right. And lots. And of course, just a dash of fish sauce. I sneak fish sauce in everything, even my spaghetti. So fish sauce makes the world better. What my life would be without fish sauce, seriously. All right, so now I'm just gonna whip this up. And oh my gosh, this looks so delicious. amazing. I wish I had those whipping machine. I actually do. Just too lazy to bust it out right now because I don't feel like washing a bunch of stuff when I'm done with this. So give it the arms a little bit of an exercise. That's okay. Now would you look at that? There's your shrimp paste. Looks beautiful. Okay, so what I have right here is the beef stock powder. It's got vitamin A and it's supposed to be good for your health. So since I'm using chicken broth and I didn't have time to cook up the beef neck bone or just just slow cook with the bone to get the broth to be sweet, I'm going to add this right here. This is the beef bones powder stocks, whatever you call this. It's at the Asian grocery store. So I'm going to add this into the water. Okay, so we're going to add the beef bone powder. Some sugar. I did about 6 spoons of sugar so far. And some salt. Alright, before adding in the paste, I'm going to test my broth to see if it's just right yet before The chicken broth itself gives it a lot of flavor, so you don't need a whole lot, but this is really good. Okay, now we're going to add in the paste. Okay, so, you want to drop that in? You want the water to come to a boiling point when you do this, okay? Now, the trick is not to stir this up yet. You want to give it about less than a minute to let the paste cooks up and stick together. Okay, so if you go ahead and stir it right away, you're going to have it's all broken up. So if you want chunky, give it a minute. Don't stir yet. Okay, so it's been about 3 minutes, but you can see the meat is still red. Okay, so be patient, but as you can see here, it's all coming together in chunks. So I would say give it about 5 minutes before you try to stir it. So this is what that's it. Okay, so I'm just going to stir lightly from the bottom because I don't want it to stick to the bottom of the pot because eggs do that. But you don't want to stir too hard because you don't want to break them up. Okay, so now we have the chicken blood and I'm going to cut these out into cubes. And we're going to drop it into the pot of gold. Basically just want it in bite-sized cube-like. Okay, now I'm going to cut into this. Voila! And you have perfect size. Now you can add in the blood. Be careful, I don't want to get the blood juice in there. So what I have here is escargot, and they're frozen, of course, but they look like this, and you can get this at the Asian grocery market. I'm going to drop this into the boiling water because I don't want to mix anything raw into my broth that is already cooked. I don't want to dirty the water, so I'm just gonna boil this a little bit, and I'm gonna drop it in there. Perfect. As I was saying earlier, I made too much of the paste, and now I feel like I don't have enough broth, so I'm just going to add a little bit of water. Just to fill it up a little bit.
And since I add water, of course, I'm gonna have to add a little bit more sugar and salt and whatnot. But remember the third pan that I told you to save? We're going to add it in just half because the broth is already pretty red. Oh, what the heck. I'm just gonna add the whole thing. I'm not gonna put away half a jar. It's perfect. Wow, that's really good. I wish you guys could taste it. Okay, so now that the escargot was cooked, I rinse it with clean water just to get out all the bubbles and whatnot. And then we're going to throw this in. Oh my gosh, I love this. Wow. I told you, this is like the pot that is like the gift that keeps on giving. It's amazing. So many amazing things goes into one pot. Is that possible? Yeah. But this is why this is one of my favorite. Okay. So what I have here is the fish cake, and it's fried fish cake. You can get this at the grocery store. If you go to it looks like this in this packaging, and it's fried fish cake. If you go to the meatball section, and you can find yourself either shrimp ball or fish ball, a fish cake. And because this is the seafood theme, I'm gonna keep it seafood. So we're not gonna add meatball in there. That's for the beef noodle soup. Just FYI. So I don't want to put a lot at a time because only as I go, the amount I eat, I just put it in because it's already cooked. I don't want it to get lost in this pot, and it's like overwhelming with so much in here. But there we go. So for this particular dish, you need the small fine noodles, and I go for the Three Ladies brand. This at the Asian grocery store as well. So after you strain out your noodle, you want to rinse your noodle right away with cold water, so that way it cools down the heat from the middle, or else your noodles will continue to cook and will be soggy. Now I rinse cold water. This will keep my noodles very firm. And if you want, throw this in the microwave for 30 seconds. It will dry up all the water so that your noodle is not going to be wet. So we'll put this in the microwave for 30 seconds. And here we have it. All that hard work. Look at how beautiful this is. I'm going to take you guys for a tour. Here's the fresh prawns. We have escargot. We have the fish cake. And then we have the chicken blood. And we have our shrimp paste, tomatoes, and noodles. Now all you have to do is throw some vegetable on top and enjoy. Thanks for watching. Alright, so here we have it. This is your escargot. Let me try this one. Let's try a small piece. And here is the pig's blood. Oh my god. So good. This is the shrimp paste right here. And I boiled some fresh prawns, giant prawns at the end, and I just top it with. I don't want to cook it into the pot because it will overcook, and the prawns will be really dry. But this is really sweet. Let me break into it. Ooh, I'm gonna do this. Love the head. That's where all the juice is at. Okay. Oh my god. That prawn is incredibly sweet. The texture,
I didn't cook it for too long, so it's really perfect. It's not too dry. I leave it in the boiling water for less than 5 minutes. Remember, don't cook the prawns in with the soup. This is so juicy still. Mm. Mm. I love escargot. Oh my god. This is a bowl of seafood heaven here.